sensitivity to the environment and to the stakeholders comes from part of these experiences. So that is one. The second, as a North Star, and this is a focus which the Institute is looking at now very, very closely, is the focus on wise innovation. Right? All of us were talking about the rapid pace of change, and we all have to evolve with it as industry is evolving, and innovation is the call of the hour. But we're looking at wise innovation. What is that? It's really an inclusive approach to innovation where you're trying to look at usefulness of the innovation to all stakeholders, and also the long-term impact and outcomes which could result from the innovation. Right, so which could be in terms of societal impact, which could be in terms of responsible innovation and responsible leadership. So whether it is research areas, we are looking at how to incorporate that in our research. Whether it is looking at curriculum, we are seeing how innovation and looking at innovation through multiple lenses: systems thinking lens, design thinking lens. And design thinking is a course which is introduced a few years back across all our programs, whether it's executive programs or full-time programs. And when we are looking, one key element here is human centricity or human-centered approach to problem solving, where you are trying to develop empathy and looking at a problem from a stakeholder's perspective, right? And therefore, the issue of saying, how do you adapt? How do you change? How do you not get wedded to a process or a system? And you're open to looking at it in terms of the need of the stakeholder, in terms of the need of the broader environment in which we are living. Coming now to the question on the regulation part, one very important issue which you raised really is also an issue of plagiarism, right? And when we're talking of responsible leaders and responsible managers, it also is sensitivity to the ethical dimension which comes in everything we do, okay? Whether it's business decisions or whether it is as a student making assignments. And I think in our schooling system itself, probably we have not been sensitized enough to the copyright issues. It's not really, I don't think it's a lack of moral values in us, but we are not really attuned to thinking about this, that every time I pick up a sentence or a picture from somewhere, I need to be attributing it. So regulatory issues are there, ethical issues are also there, and we are trying to inculcate that through policies which we communicate to our participants as soon as they begin their journey with SPJIMR as to what is allowed, what is not allowed, how you should be presenting facts, how you should look at data. And data privacy is another important aspect of regulatory things which we need to look at in all its dimensions when you are looking at decision making, collecting data from different stakeholders, and also using that data. So I think data privacy is an important aspect which decision makers need to look at now.
Thank you very much, ma'am. So we'll go one more round for any closing comments. Mr. Bansal, over to you.
In fact, I would say that it's working. No, this basically has been part of our culture, only we seem to have forgotten, because at times I see, since fortunately for me, I have not been, please don't mind it, I've not been an educationist throughout my life. I've been a civil servant. And it's only after my active innings in the government of India at senior positions, I'm into this new role for the last couple of years. And, I've been feeling that most of the time the academia or the academic institutions or the government regulatory systems, they got stuck into the old ideas. They remained aloof from what was happening around the world. They were just caught up into the degrees and other things. So fortunately, such kinds of conferences, discussions are happening now. And possibly things should change. But only thing, as Professor Vishwanath also said, most of the time you find that people on the other side, I don't want to blame the teachers, they are still into yesterday. Till their problems are taken care of, till their knowledge is really taken care of, till they start thinking of the next century, I do not really see things happening in a very big way.
Thank you, Mr. Bansal. Dr. Urvashi.
Thank you. I would appreciate the role of the current implementation of new education policy in our country today, which definitely has triggered outcome-based education in a big way. And that has become a catalyst in the implementation of the problem-based learning in most of the campuses, I believe. And that has been the reason that today, if we'll talk about Bloom's taxonomy and the usage of the higher levels of the Bloom's taxonomy in the classroom teaching, I believe that's being followed in totality in most of the B schools, including, of course, at IMS Ghaziabad also. So I believe that the government plays very important role in the overall ecosystem of any education scenario in any of the country. And the current era should be considered as the golden era, because we are witnessing the implementation of new education policy in our country, in most of the institutions, universities, in a big way. And that problem solving approach and the problem based learning, if can become the premise of any of the educational institution, I'm sure most of the problems are already sorted, because then our focus will be on the outcomes, focus will be on the integration of the corporate with the academia, and undoubtedly we will try to devise the ways, and the reverse engineering will automatically happen to create the curriculum to be conducive to the corporate sector. And besides this, I would definitely add up to the role of the peer learning in the B schools, which is to be inculcated in a big way with the various practices and the traditions. And I believe that's being done in most of the B schools nowadays. That's the reason the role of alumni is becoming much more significant these days. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Urvashi. Dr. Vishwanath, closing remarks.
Yeah. See, to conclude, I want to say one thing. As a teacher for 33 years, I want to tell the students this. See, always we think. Now, today I want to tell two things. One is today we are 1.42 billion demographically, and we overtook China by 5 million. Demographically, we are strong. Intellectually, we are strong. And now, thanks to NEP, has given a lot of leverage on multidisciplinary approach. So encash it and look into the career building with social responsibility. That's what I want to tell.
Thank you, Dr. Vishwanath. Professor Rupal.
Okay, I think a lot of the points have already been shared. Just want to add one more thing as a concluding remark, is that whatever we do to prepare for Industry 5.0, we have to do it across all our courses. It is not just introduction of one or two courses which are standalone looking at ESG and sustainability. Of course, that is important. But let's say take marketing and then say, okay, how are we looking at a circular economy, or how are we looking at responsible consumption? Introducing these aspects in each and every course and looking at how we can link our learning outcomes to SDGs, I think is the way to go forward. Thank you.
So we are living in interesting times, and looks like all the institutes are working towards imparting skills and training for Industry 5.0. We are not there yet. We are still working on Industry 4.0 issues, but we will reach there. Thank you very much.
We are left with 2 minutes. In case if there is any question from the audience, we can definitely take up very quickly. Any question from any of the students' side? I can see a lot of students sitting over here.
Yeah.
You have to ask one question at least.
Too much of knowledge.
So, well, I think we can wind up the session. Obviously, we have been very clear to them. That's why no questions.
It can mean only two things, right? The other is everything is overhead. Thank you very much. Thank you to all the panelists, and thank you BW Business World for giving us this opportunity. Thank you very much.
Can we have a round of applause for our panelists here? That was quite a commendable session indeed. I would now be requesting the humble presence of Ravi Khatri, General Manager, BW Business World, to kindly join us here on stage. Let's welcome sir as well with a round of applause, please. I would request Mr. Khatri to felicitate our panelists here. And definitely this has been the last panel of the day and quite a fruitful one indeed. Please accept this token of appreciation from our end. Thank you so much for your eminent presence here today and for your precious time. Thank you. Everybody, can we please have a round of applause? Thank you. Thank you once again to the dignitaries here on stage. We will have one group picture together with the mementos, please. Everybody, can we have a round of applause for the panelists on board with us? Thank you so much. Before we disperse, there is a special announcement for all of you. A special offer on BW Business World subscription for institutes. Please contact Mr. Vinod Kumar at the registration counter. Thank you so much. As all good things come to an end, today's event is also coming to its closure. And it was really wonderful having such amazing audience. So thank you so much for your time. Can we have a round of applause for each and every one of you? Also,